Yeah, what's up? What's going on, everybody? We're back at it again with another episode of the PA Political Revolution Podcast, where we give you unadulterated, the unadulterated funk, right? The unadulterated funk that the Port Arthur City Council is giving you, right? We over here doing everything politics over here at the Revolution Podcast, right? And this is going to be a part two to the Last Supper, right? The Last Supper, with Donald Frank proposing to go ahead and have the city feed the council and all the staff up in there whenever they come to council, right? The council and staff are paid personnel, but they feel they need to eat on the citizens' dime, right? They want to eat on the citizens' dime. When they are paid and they can go on and bring, food and salads and stuff like that up to the council, they can go ahead and bring their own stuff to the council. They claim they have 6, 7 hour days, all some kind of crazy stuff. But we pretty much are going to go ahead and get right into what's going on over at the city council, right? But hold on, I think the council has some new theme music, right? Let's go ahead and play some of the council theme music that I got from one of the actual council members, right? They kind of gave me the very first shout out, the very first sneak peek at the theme music, right? Let's go ahead and check it out. Yes, sir. The circus. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, we got it. The city council's very own theme music, right? The circus, yes, sir. That's how they getting down over there at Port Arthur City Council, right? Let us not bring you. Let's go ahead and step right on into it, right? Pretty much, I basically told you this was about the second part, the actual council meeting. Well, Frank trying to, get this jump here. Let's go ahead and get on into it. Oh, this is going to be a reaction, right? This is my first time actually looking at the council meeting, right? So I'm going to be watching it with y'all the ones that didn't see it. I kind of got some cliff notes. I kind of got a little bit what's going on, but this is really my first time taking a look at it.
2, it is an ordinance adding section 2-53 to chapter 2, administration, article 2, city council,
Boy, he sound drunk, don't he?
division 2 meetings to the code of ordinances as it pertains to working meetings requested by council member Frank. May I get a motion for approval, Councilman Doucette? May I get a second, Councilwoman Becker? Second. It's been moved and second that we would accept PO number 7182 as read. We're ready for question on this. Well, okay, Councilman Frank, you had a question on this?
Yes. I'm really kind of feeling disturbed to bring something of this magnitude to this body and to say that we could not come to a solution concerning this issue. This issue has been telecast on Facebook. It's been telecast on the news, and it is simply pertaining to whether or not council members can have a meal during a meeting here at City Council. This has been a situation that has ranged from can have a meal, illegal to have a meal, not illegal to have a meal. And so I thought that
Now, I really wonder who's told Frank that it's not illegal. We'll just go ahead on and see.
In the midst of being completely transparent, that we would move this situation and talk about it on this
Okay, it's transparent. Let's see how transparent he is.
dais and talk about it amongst ourselves as well as to our community. Whether or not we choose to do it as a body will be up to us, but I am never in favor of one individual or two individuals or three individuals making a decision for the entirety of council. Um, I think that this does not only go speak to council, but I think it speaks to the organizations that we appoint individuals to. When we appoint individuals to the police advisory committee, can they have sandwiches and a Coke? When we have other organizations or this council, these meetings have lasted from 9 o'clock in the morning. We come in at 9, start meetings at 9:30, and we have gone until 6 in the evening when we were doing budgetary considerations. Staff misses their lunch period because they are here during the time of our meeting. And we're not talking about lobster and shrimp. We're talking about a $10 to $15 meal that is given to a council member or to staff.
Man, look out, man. Nothing is $10 to $15 over there at Saltgrass and at Cheddar's. The only thing at Cheddar's is what the chips and dip, right? The little green dip, the spinach dip. And probably the only thing over there is $10 at Saltgrass is that brisket dip with the jalapeno up in there. Man, come on. Really?
Staff during the time that we're here. It doesn't have to be every meeting. It doesn't have to be, but when it happens, we have found out. We've done our due diligence. It is not illegal. One of the council members has come and brought forth federal guidelines. This is a state issue. We're not under federal guidelines. We're under state guidelines, and there is nothing that is illegal. There's nothing that prohibits it from happening. We're talking.
Now he's saying something. He's saying. Now remember, I'm just watching as you all, right? He's saying we don't follow federal guidelines. We follow state guidelines, right? Now I know if you get in trouble, they have certain regulations that you do state time in jail for, and you do fed time in jail for, right? So I just wanted something I wanted to bring out right quick. I know I'm just now watching it with y'all.
Talking about a meal, and I'm really kind of feeling some kind of way is the vernacular that we use many times because.
Boy, just a ghetto ass pastor, man. I'm feeling some kind of way. I mean, boy, these jokers here between Bartie and Frank, boy, these some old hood behind cats.
We are a multi-million-dollar city, and we're having this discussion at the dais, talking about a $10 to $15 meal that happens twice a month. And
now, that's the problem with it, right? Pastor Frank think this is church, right? You're a multi-million-dollar city. Just because you feel that you're a multi-million-dollar city, right, does not give you the right to spend that joker as you feel, right? You are already getting a salary. The council members are getting a salary. Staff gets a salary, right? So they can do like all the other staff members do, take a lunch break. And council, you just getting over there. Or even if you can be in there at 9, just go ahead and take you an hour break for lunch. That's all you have to do. This is not rocket science, but you think You can live high off the hog because the city has $1 million, but y'all can't even goddamn do the thing that you're supposed to do with the doggone $1 million, right? The multi-million-dollar that you so claim that you have, right?
And I understand that there are, that we're looking at budgetary concerns and considerations. But I have sat on numerous.
Now, this is not another thing, right? This is a multi-million-dollar city, as he said, right? But they have to raise the water rates on you as a citizen. But this goddamn lazy son of a dog wants to go ahead and eat on you. He wants to throw it in your face as a multi-million-dollar city. But you have to raise the rates. They came to your face about raising the doggone water rates, right? If this is such a multi-million-dollar city and food is too petty, you need to save all of that stuff that you eat and stop filling your goddamn mouth, right? And go ahead and do the business of the city.
Boards and been involved in numerous meetings where those individuals had lunch prepared for them, where individuals, were given lunches. I don't understand why it is such a great difficulty, why it is such a great issue, why it is such a great concern to give someone a $10 lunch.
Pastor, you're getting paid, brother. You're getting paid. Go ahead and eat at your house. This is not the church's money. This is not the money for the congregation, brother. This is taxpayers' dollars. This is the incompetence of the council that we have right here, people. This is who you goddamn elected, right? You elect this clown-ass pastor that feels that he needs to live high on the hog, that he feels that he needs to splurge on the city's funds to go ahead and get a $20 goddamn meal. Now remember, he was with the school board, right? I can't remember if he was one of the ones, but the school board, I know Kinlaw was for sure, right? They were the ones that used their money to go ahead and get some fogo de chao, a Brazilian steakhouse like you have over there in Houston, right? One of them real high dollar fancy restaurants, right? So they have a problem from being off the school board with abuse of money, in my opinion, right? So just wanted to give it that little tidbit.
I don't understand that for the life of me, especially when we're talking about multi-million-dollar cities.
There we go with the multi-million-dollar cities again, right? Now he splurges like we have money to waste, but the sorry son of a dog up here with staff convincing you all, for convincing them to go ahead and raise the water rates, right? That's how much of a trash council that we are. When they don't have, they play stupid like they don't have enough money. You're not getting the benefits from the city. But they still want to raise your rates. They haven't been fixing the pipes. They haven't been changing none of that stuff out. They are very reactive to the pipes, right? They can't even get a system, water system straight, right? If I remember, I'm gonna try to go in more in the water detail at the end of this, so I won't have to do another podcast on just the water. I'll lump them in together because it's pretty much all saying the same thing, really. Really, it's all the cause of the same thing.
The largest petrochemical industry in the world resides here. LNGs, the new LNG capital of the United States of America. But we're talking about a 10.
Man, Pastor Frank, right? 1/3 of the Kappa clowns, right? He's going in. He's talking about all this resources that we have, people, but they done raised the water rates on you, right? They can't get a goddamn thing done. The money, these incompetent clowns cannot direct the finance department, right? With her clown self, the director, to go ahead and get a payment system straight, right? They can't pay the doggone contractors yet. According to Frank, we have all this goddamn money. Petrochemical City, all is raining out the air, right? We got millions of Texas tea. That's what this goddamn stupid clown is boasting about. But look at your roads. Look at your roads, your infrastructure, the drainage. They didn't hyper develop Jimmy Johnson 365. So but they didn't expand the pipes when they're doing that because they want to save some money. So now when the water comes in, it floods on Jimmy Johnson, other areas up there north of 73. So that's how, instead of fixing all of that stuff, right? He wants to go ahead and use your money for some doggone food. The doggone lazy dog thinks it's his church where he think the church congregation got to pay, but it is ain't the church congregation. You need to pay your own meals, buddy. Look, this crap isn't. Look, this stuff is so stupid, right? You want to act like we big shot and got all this money, but you can't do city goddamn business.
To $15 lunch twice a month. And I'm a taxpayer. And so I have heard both sides of it. I've heard individuals who are against it, and I've heard individuals who are for it. But I am never going to be in a position as a council member, to allow any one person to dictate to this entirety of council what they are going to cause to be done in our city. One of the things that I've heard said as well is that, well, we have lunches and we have lunches and all of the lunches are not eaten. Well, they're not eaten because the people fear retribution. They're afraid that somebody's gonna see them eat the lunch and then take it out on them.
Boy, this is a dumbass pastor here, right? Pastor, yeah, what would you have to fear of retribution if you was doing everything right? See, if this was all proper and in order, you wouldn't have to explain yourself. Nobody would need to doggone have to hide from eating food because you know it's wrong, right? You're hiding, other people hiding because you know it's wrong. See, the council, right, they figure that they can go ahead and get together outside of council chambers and talk about this, right? So he's going to bring it up believing that he has all the 4 votes, right? So that's what made him bring on this to council, right? But after he then got ripped a new behind from the citizens on Facebook, the news, the podcast, now he's trying to over here do some splaining, right? But all the stuff that he's trying to tell you does not make any sense. If you're doing what you want to do, why you need to create an ordinance for that, right? Just keep doing what you're doing, like Mr. Haradu said. So you know that there's a problem for it, right? So you want to go ahead and create a doggone ordinance for it. But there's already something that says you can't do it. So let's continue.
All of those kinds of things are happening and transpiring. That's not the way that a city council ought to be. That's not the way that a leader ought to behave. That's not the way that we want to be perceived as leaders and as a city. And I'm really ashamed. I'm ashamed that we even are having to have this discussion.
You ashamed, Pastor. we shit. You should be ashamed of your goddamn cousin. The Kappa community, right? The frat organization, the Greeks, whatever you want to call them, they should be ashamed of you 3 goddamn Kappas up there, because y'all some Kappa clowns. That's what y'all should be ashamed of.
Discussion. We could have talked about this amongst ourselves rather than discussing it openly and publicly to that degree.
Now, this is how stupid this fool is, right? Let me tell you something, people. Due to the Open Meetings Act, you as a citizen have the right to know what's going on in city business. This is not a closed session item. This is not a closed session item. This is not a closed session item, people. So understand, you have incompetent council members, right? First off, he talks about transparency, but now he don't want to talk about transparency no more, everybody. He wants to talk about why you putting it out in the public, people. That's how two-timing and double talking these lying dog-ass pastors are, right? Not pastors, dog-ass politicians are. Politicians and pastors, right? If you got two in the one, they some dogs to me, right? So this right here is why you can't trust nothing that comes out of Pastor Frank's mouth.
It doesn't bother me. I have a great cook at home, and so this meal is not going to affect me to that degree.
Well, bring you and your cousin something to eat.
But to the degree that now it's become a dividing line between the North and the South, between the Hatfields and the McCoys, I can't do it. But it had to come to this because that's where we find ourselves. And so that's what I needed to say about the subject.
Okay, thank you, Councilman Doucette.
All right. Yeah, we didn't have to come to this point. But this started about 6 weeks ago. I put this on the agenda. But I put it on as a discussion so that we could come together and understand it. And what I said then was that the city credit card policy does not allow meals to be purchased for personal consumption. The city attorney said at that time that was the city policy. So if that's the city policy, then we shouldn't be buying the meals with the credit cards. Now, when we're talking about what are we entitled to, you know, we receive salaries. We receive car allowance. And we talking about we need to have a meal provided to us at taxpayers' expense. Well, let me talk about some of the things that was mentioned that I don't agree with. One is that when we start talking about a multi-million-dollar refineries and all of this stuff in the city of Port Arthur, it has nothing to do with spending taxpayers' money. That's the issue. What are we using taxpayers' money
There you go, bingo. Right, I was right on point.
for? Then I hear $10 to $15 meal. I sat and I seen meals from Cheddar's and Sawgrass. And the only thing comes from Cheddar or Sawgrass for $15 is a hobo meal. That's toothpick and water. So if we're going to put it out here to citizens, let's talk facts. I said it violates the credit card policy. That ain't my feelings. That's a fact. If you read, you'll find that out. The meals are more than that. I could have gotten the cost that had to be expended over meals for council. The other thing is the council members who do not eat the meals or accept the meal are afraid of retribution. No, we're not afraid of retribution. We feel it ain't right. We feel it's not justifiable. So that's why we don't do it. And I look at this proposed ordinance. I have a problem with this ordinance because the ordinance, in my opinion, is not addressing what the topic should have been. was whether council members can eat meals or not. It describes and talks about special events, receptions. We already have allowances for that. And above all, I hear people say it's nothing illegal. If it's not illegal, then why do we need to propose and approve this ordinance? If nothing is illegal, let's keep doing it. Why do we have to change it? So, I'm like you, Councilman Frank. I feel we shouldn't have been discussing this. But I differ from you for the fact that I'm not going to say we're the Hatfields and McCoy. What I'm going to say is we had an issue that all of the council members didn't agree on, so we have to bring it to a vote. And how we feel about it is going to be brought to a vote. And that's what it's about. It's not about having thin skin. Hey, if you get out there, be prepared what's coming. We don't need to go after. We're not divided. We're here to stay.
And since Deuce is on this point, let me go ahead and jump on in, right? People, don't let people like Frank, Bartie, or any other of these lying clowns on council, right, tell you that everything should be in unity, like, right? So everybody should agree on something. If somebody don't agree, they're the problem. That's why you have an odd number on council, right? Because you make decisions by a vote. And that's from a simple majority to a super majority on a few issues, right? That's why you have 4 votes. To go ahead and by the simple majority, to go ahead and make a decision on something, right? It's not unanimous. You can't get anything with it unanimous, right? So if somebody tell you that the council all need to be unified, this needs to happen, no. They get business taken care of by a vote. They can argue all they want on council, right? Because you have 2 people having a sides, right? 2 people having different agreements or 2 sides or whatever, right? Yes or no, approve or disapprove. It goes by votes. So that's the only thing that matters, right? So understand this: when you're looking at Congress on TVs, the House and the Senate, Democrats, Republican, Speaker, they have checks and balances on these things, right? Everybody don't have to be unanimous on something, or you have gridlock, because everybody is not going to have a monotheistic thinking, right? So, and you have to be wary of anybody that tries to promote a whole one voice, one vote, or unite PA or unite this, all of this crazy stuff, right? So understand, when it comes to politics is dealt with the vote.
Establish something. But when you make the comment, 10 to 15 hour meal, that's not the case in the thing. When you say 6 to 7 hours as a basis for bringing this before, no, the normal time is probably going to be 4 to 4.5 hours. And if you talk about meals for staff and us, well, first of all, the staff haven't been eating no meals since I've been here. It's been council members, okay? And then when we start talking about the difference between I've served on committees, it clearly states a salaried person. So if a person not receiving a salary, there's nothing said that they can't be provided a meal or a snack. It's salary. Now we get a salary. You mentioned I got a great cook at home. Well, if you got a great cook at home, the evening meals we come at 4 o'clock. Eat before you come to the meeting.
Bam. That's what I'm saying. The stuff Council Member Frank and Bartie be saying, it's straight clown stuff. It is straight clown. Straight clown stuff, man.
We as council people have the control and opportunity to make this right, to get the morning meeting. We start at 9:30. It's 12 now. After this, we're done with this portion. We go into the executive session. Now, how long we stay there is dependent on how much business we have to take care of. But at the end of the day, why would you expect citizens to buy a meal for a 5:30 meeting when we get here at 4 o'clock? We're leaving our homes or somewhere coming here at 4 o'clock. If you're hungry, get a meal. Above all, you're receiving a salary. Why can't we bring lunch? Nothing stops us from bringing lunches. Nothing. So, no, don't say we the Hatfield and McCoy, Councilman. We just disagree on this, and we have to resolve it. But I'm quite sure, like you said, you've heard people say they don't mind and people that do mind. Most of the people that I've seen mind. So, I just, we're not divided, and there are going to be issues we don't agree with. But this is a process we have today where we bring it before council, and we say what we have to say, and then we decide. And whatever this council decide with what the citizens would expect us to do sitting in these seats. We have to get away from what we did. All this time I've been on council, since 2011, off and on, and I've spent 6 years on this council. When we had to go to extended hours because we knew the agenda was going to be long during the morning meeting, we've recessed at lunch, not personally for us, but we recessed so that the staff would have the opportunity to go and eat. Then we came back and took care of it. That's what we signed up for when we asked to be elected. We get elected and we want to change things for our benefit, add perks for us.
Okay, hold up, let's say, okay, Councilwoman Beckham.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to clear up something because there was a statement made on social media, and it's been repeated today about the fear of retribution. So I would like to clear that up because my name was brought into it on social media. I've been in executive sessions now since July, and I've watched plenty of people eat their meals, and I don't think anyone has received any retribution from me. None whatsoever. All of the citizens that have contacted me in the last couple of days are against the citizens paying for us to have a meal, and I side with them. I don't think the taxpayers need to pay for us to have a meal. I bring my snacks, I bring my juice, I bring whatever. I've done that my entire career. If I know that I'm going to be in court all day long, I bring my snacks. I'm always prepared. I've asked for meals not to be provided for me from the get-go. So.
Okay, Councilman Kinlaw.
Thank you, Mayor. I've looked at the Facebook posting, and I've looked at the media, and I've seen exactly what was said about some of the council members and, some of the situations we had to endure within the last 3 or 4 days about meals. When we're talking about throwing our dirty laundry out there and providing an avenue of media for eating lunches or dinners, I don't agree with that. I don't think it should have been handled this way.
Now your ass embarrassed, right? See, these are some Kappa clowns. They are embarrassed that you as a taxpaying citizens are seeing that they are splurging on steakhouses with your money, right? Money that they can't even get to pay for the water rate for whatever reason, right? So they had to come to you for the raise, but then they want to treat themselves to some food. Now they looking stupid because they already know it's wrong. They shouldn't do it. Now they're embarrassed. But the problem is, right, you need to handle city business in the public, right? Don't be ashamed of it. Stand on it. If you think that's right and you think that's what the citizens want, stand on using their taxpaying dollars for eating meals when you get a salary. You know what I mean? So it's sad, right? And the problem with Councilmember Kinlaw, right? He doesn't have a spine. he wants to straddle the fence. He doesn't want to stand for right. When he do it sometimes, and a lot of that's politically motivated. He don't want to offend nobody. All this doggone coward crap.
When we talk about some of the verbiage that was also stated about drainage, streets, garbage, lighting, that we need to be focusing on those things, we never stop doing those things. The day-to-day operation is done by the city manager. He's responsible for ensuring those things that are broken in the city are fixed. There's no council member up here, but
And you as council are not making sure that the city managers abiding by them things, right? It's just sad.
at the end of the day, I was walking in here today, and they said, well, we're going to blame you, Councilmember Kinlaw, or council members. But we're sitting here talking about food. We're doing business for the city of Port Arthur on 2 occasions. That's it. I'm not a salary. I don't receive a salary. I don't receive a car allowance. I don't receive a stipend. So
That's because you're getting veteran benefits. You're getting VA benefits, and you're scared they go take that money if you get paid for it. That's the only reason why you ain't taking the guy. You saying that you ain't taking the salary. That don't mean you need to get the food. Crap. You chose not to get a salary. Just as you chose not to get a salary, you need to choose not to get this meal. So if you willingly forfeited your salary, you can forfeit this $10 to $15 meal, as Frank claimed that the prices are.
am I exempt from that situation? So I asked a question, I got emails, I got text messages, I got phone calls, say no, 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 because the people want it not to happen. But we got problems with drainage. We got problems with your water bills. I got a disconnection notice as well last Thursday. I emailed the city manager. He never responded back to me. But I got calls from you guys. But we are sitting here in a city council meeting with a 200.
Well, Councilmember Kinlaw, that's what you goddamn signed up for. Don't come over here crying to me about a council member when you signed up for this. You know that you're not supposed to be getting the goddamn meal, Kinlaw. You know the citizens don't want this, so if you don't want to follow what the citizens are asking of you, don't be a public servant. You probably need to go get a job somewhere, right? Listen to somebody else that you want to listen to if you don't want to listen to the citizens, Kinlaw. Come on now. You want to play that guilt trip just because you doing the city's business. You should be entitled to a goddamn meal because you don't get a goddamn salary. Well, that's your goddamn fault for getting a salary. Get the salary, then buy the meal at the salary you're supposed to get. And no, sir, you ain't exempt.
$1 million budget about meals. But let's talk about staying here. Last 2 meetings ago, I was here. We got here at 4 o'clock. We left here at 10:40 p.m. In 6 years, that's the longest I've ever been here. We come here sometimes in the morning for 9 o'clock. We don't leave until 3 or 4 o'clock. And we're holding you guys here. Now, is that fair?
Just like Mr. Doucette said, go ahead and break for doggone lunch. That's all you have to do. Councilmember Kinlaw, boy, I've never seen some grown black men cry like you threes up there. God damn, you some crying ass ninjas. Boy, you all want to goddamn run the city so goddamn bad that you crying about some meals that you know that the citizens don't want you to have. Take the salary, or just take your salary and pay for the meals out the salary, Kinlaw. Do it that way. It's better for you to do that. Don't come up here crying about a meal when you don't want to take the salary. Doesn't make any sense to me.
But nobody want to talk about the tough issues about streets, drainage, garbage that I get the phone calls, that I get the emails about. But we talking about meals.
Quit, Kinlaw. Quit. Why is you crying on doggone council? Quit. Stop crying. Quit.
So, city attorney, is this illegal once and for all. We had both sides that was asked to you. We've asked this question 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. Are we doing something illegal? Are we under the GSA, which I was military? That's what we utilize federally. But as a state entity, are we doing something that's illegal?
No.
Okay, that's it. That's it.
No.
I'm gonna call for the vote. I'm gonna call. No, I know you're not.
This goddamn boy, this man ain't crap. This man is a sad trash mayor, right? How can you, as a mayor, openly violate the Open Meetings Act? Now, man, look, I'm gonna have to start jumping on the doggone the doggone what you call it, Texas Rangers. Man, I'm gonna have to start calling them again, seeing what's going on with them. I'm gonna have to make this go up somewhere up the chain of command, man. If the Rangers don't want to do it, I'm gonna have to go to the what is the comptroller? I forgot the people up there. Somebody at the state, man. Somebody at the state. They need to come down there and do this. It doesn't make any sense. We have an ignorant mayor, ignorant council, so happen to be Kappas, right? These 3 Kappa clowns want to oppress the citizen's voice, citizen and council member's voice. That's a shame.
But I'm sharing the meeting. I'm gonna call for the vote because she just said it's and.
Boy, this is a clown. Boy, this is a fool right here. This is a fool.
Robert Rules of Order allowed me to call for the vote because I am chairing the meeting. Okay, so at this time,
Point of order.
Mayor,
even with the point of order,
Mayor.
I'm gonna call
Point
for
of
the
order.
vote, ma'am.
may I say something?
Go right ahead.
Okay, with all due respect, we do have some lights that were still on, and the policy in the Code of Ordinances does allow every member to speak.
Okay.
Also,
Okay, now I have no
wait,
problem.
wait, let me finish. Just give me 1 second. Like I said, and respectfully also, I know there's a citizen up here. The citizens are allowed to speak. So sometimes you're not allowed to speak 2 or 3 times, but if there's a light on, those council members are allowed to speak.
Councilman Lewis,
And
go
the
right ahead.
citizens. Thank you. And then if you have any point of clarification, I can make it. I say 1 word. And I do have more words.
I'm just
to
trying to
say
conduct the meeting.
if needed.
Councilman Lewis, go ahead.
My position is this. I draw a salary. I buy my meals. I do not have a problem with the city manager in training committees, citizens volunteering to work and serve the community to make it easy on us. Yes, they're not receiving a salary. Feed them. You know, oh no, that's what we ought to be about. But council members, no. And I don't want to tell the public how much you're making a year and what you're netting, and you want them to still buy your meal for 2 meetings a month. 2 meetings a month, and you're netting over $1,200 a month for 2 meetings. We shouldn't even be discussing this because this thing could spill over here, and a lot of other things could get thrown out.
Okay, Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you, Mayor. My question is regarding we have 2 separate ordinances that are opposite of each other. When we vote on this first one that's being called, does it remove or change the ordinance again for the second one that's on the agenda?
No. May I answer that?
Go
I'm
right
sorry, I
ahead.
didn't mean to say no without being recognized. But may I answer the question? Okay, the first one, we were asked to prepare an ordinance that allows approval for reasonable costs of food and beverages under certain circumstances, and that's what's listed in Exhibit A. So you have a laundry list. It does include council meetings. And I can talk about the other one, which is not on the floor, but I think it connects to your question without jumping into the next one. The next one, I was asked that it says that the city must adhere to the credit card policy, which prohibits the purchase of meals for personal use, and that includes city council meetings. To get to the next one, I think.
Now, see, you have this clown-ass goddamn attorney, right, with her silly ass. It's looking like she double-talking right here because she just really stated about They eating the meals. She's trying to cut hairs, split hairs, right? They want to say, well, eating the meal ain't illegal, but they eating the meal with the credit card. They using the credit card to purchase the meal, man. This is stupid. She really, she want to halfway get technical. Bartie want to shut up, call a meeting, all this clown shit that he doing, man. His crap is pissing me the hell off.
We'd have to talk about the credit card policy. I don't know if y'all want to get all into that right now, but one sets out guidelines where you all authorize when food and beverages can be included, and it's a long list. And that puts a formal policy in place. And then the second one speaks to the use of the credit card. And these are the specific requests that were made by the council members. So I formalized it in the form of an ordinance.
Okay.
I do want to say one other thing, because I know where we're leading in terms of me. When you asked me, was it illegal? There's no criminal statute that makes this illegal. So if the question is that it's criminally unlawful, that is no, and we've dealt into that. I would like you to give me a little leeway to try to explain something else. With this and with other types of things, basically there's a lot of research and papers that's been written about expending.
So the question I ask right here, right, if the council want to spend the whole city, what she probably lying, because really you need to have that. You need to have all of that outlined through the doggone what you call it, the budget. I would beg to differ. You should be. It probably is illegal during the budget, because where's the notations for all these meals that you're taking, right? Where does that in the budget and the line items, right? So, and then, look, this is look. Let's say this. Okay, if that's not illegal, if the city want to spend $1 million on food at one council meeting, so you trying to tell me that ain't illegal? I mean, that's legal? I beg to differ. They could probably hit them with abuse of taxpayers' funds. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of stuff they can hit them with on this stuff. You know, I'm not an attorney, but that's just my opinion, right? If you say it can buy a meal, then hell, it would be. If it's not illegal, it shouldn't be a limit then. Well, what's the limit? If it's not illegal, no statute saying this, so that means you can spend $1 million on seafood from Las Vegas, right? Have it shipped it on down here. Is that illegal? Come on. So it's a lot of bull crap. They need to go ahead and run this city attorney out of here. You know what I mean? But you'll never get a good regime as long as you got this, corrupt city attorney. In my opinion, I believe she's corrupt. That's just my opinion. But let's keep on going with this damn clown show.
Taxpayer dollars. So we could be talking about lunch, a sign, a flag, a TV, whatever. And what the Attorney General, these questions have come up with other cities, and just generally speaking on any expenditure of public funds, what a court will look at when we talk about civil, because we know it's not criminal, is whether any expenditure, so we're not just talking about food, but when you're looking at spending anything, in a civil matter, what a court will look at is whether it facilitates a public purpose, and there's a 3-part test to that. Without going into all of that, I won't give you a law class, but there's a 3-part test to that. But basically, the legislature has said that a court, if a city is reasonable and the city establishes that there's a public purpose tied to it, then they can make an expenditure of funds. I don't want to go into a long thing, but that's on any expenditure. So that's at this point, in terms of any type of, it's not criminal, but in making any type of expenditure, you make that connection. And the courts leave it up to the city council, which is why we have ordinances and resolutions on the agenda to decide whether there's a public purpose and whether it's reasonable. And I think that's why that language was put in there. So it's a public policy decision. You can have any expenditure you make, it's a public policy decision to be made by the legislative body, which is you all. And it's
Well, hell, you have a policy and you violating your own goddamn policy. Come on now. That's stupid.
based on reasonableness. So, what I always advise as I close is that any decision to expend money is tempered with reasonableness, and does it have a valid public purpose? And that's all I wanted to state.
Okay.
Okay, Mayor, the other part of my comment was, for the record, I don't care whether lunch is purchased for me or not. I keep snacks in my bag. However, I do not want to make a decision for my coworkers who feel that they do deserve.
Now, this is the craziest son of a motherfucker I ever seen in my life, right? She's crazy. She has to be crazy. You don't want to make a decision on something, right? Hey, this is, hold on, man. This is some of the most ignorant crap I've ever heard from Councilman Hamilton. And this is your pro tem. Port Arthur, we got to do better. Like they say, we have to do better. So, hold on, my guy. Hold on, let me back this up for a minute, man. Let me back this crap up for a minute.
And it's based on reasonableness.
I got to hear this dumbass crap again. I'm sorry for cursing. I got to hear this crap again.
Any decision to expend money is tempered with reasonableness, and does it have a valid public purpose? And that's all I wanted to state.
Okay.
Okay, Mayor, the other part of my comment was, for the record, I don't care whether lunch is purchased for me or not. I keep snacks in my bag. However, I do not want to make a decision for my coworkers who feel that they do deserve that meal.
So if so Tiffany Hamilton, if I feel that I deserve Fogo de Chao on the taxpayers, if I feel like I'm feeling hungry today and I want 5 meals, right? You don't think, but I feel like I deserve 5 meals just for me, right? You saying you not gonna make a decision if I feel like I deserve. So whatever I feel like I deserve, I feel like I want my own personal credit card and I want to go ahead and take my wife out to eat. I feel I deserve that. Will you not vote on that or ride with me because I feel that's what I deserve?
The other side to that is, it's been stated that we spend hundreds and thousands of dollars on these meals per year, and that is not true. That is not true at all. So, City Mayor...
Man, what the hell are you talking about? Where in the hell did you get that money? What the hell are you talking about?
If it's possible for city manager to actually provide information as to how much actually is spent on meals. And staff does eat those meals. They just have to wait until we're done. And they come and pick them up after we're finished with executive session.
Hold on, what you say? Hold on, y'all doing some slave type crap over there? You have the staff come eat the leftovers when you're done? Man, hold on, man. This is Port Arthur, man. You can't get no better than this crazy. Let me see. Look, come on. Let me hear this crap. I got to hear this crap again. Hold on, man. I don't think I heard that right.
Not true. That is not true at all. So, City Mayor, if it's possible for city manager to actually provide information as to how much actually is spent on meals. And staff does eat those meals. They just have to wait until we're done. And they come and pick them up after we're finished with executive session. I think it's more than fair for our staff to be able to be provided a meal, especially when we hold them for hours and hours and hours.
Okay. Councilman Ducey, you had something else?
Yes, I want to get clarification from the city attorney. You know, it's all how we ask the question. You keep saying, is it illegal? Is it criminal? My point that I made from the first time I brought this up is the credit card policy.
But hold on. The credit card, that's going to be on the next one. No, she
No,
just
no.
Boy, this is the dumbest man I ever. I'm sorry. This dude is on drugs. He has to be on some goddamn narcotic, man. You can't believe how this man runs interference for the council. It's this stupid. See, this is what these clowns are, right? They know that this crap is illegal. They know it's against policy, it's illegal, right? But they goddamn want to run interference. They feel that they want to goddamn do what they want to do. That's the problem with these goddamn drug addicts. What is this particular drug addict, the mayor? Allegedly. I'm speculating.
No.
Okay.
We're talking about this ordinance. You mentioned the fact, is it legal or illegal? The problem is we have a credit card policy, and she should say whether purchasing the meals for personal consumption is a violation of the policy or if it's not. Now, we also have...
Okay, hold on. Point of order on this. No, wait just a minute. I'm chairing the meeting. That has been answered, sir. She and what you are talking about, in the specifics, and this is so we can move the meeting along, is if it's dealing with the credit card issue, that will be discussed in this next item.
Boy, this son of a gun is on drugs. Straight drugs.
Next item.
It's
going to be discussed, Councilman, and I'm going to move on and call.
Point of order.
Now, attorney.
Point of order.
Okay, even with the point of order, I'm chairing the meeting.
No, Mayor.
But
Mayor,
no, wait.
Mayor, when you receive a point of order, you entertain the point of order. Now, you're not going to.
But sir, I'm going to chair the meeting.
No.
But I'm going to recognize you, and I've been doing that.
You better check.
No, but we're going to move the meeting.
No, you're not going to do it.
Attorney,
You're not going to do that.
May I state something?
Go right ahead.
Okay.
No, you go ahead.
Okay.
I'm still
There
chairing
was
the
a
meeting.
point of order, so that decision needs to be made
That's right.
about whether we're going to move on the point of order. If you have to state if we're off subject, if we're off subject,
off
we need
subject.
to get okay. So you have to rule on whether we're now. You might not like this, but if it's germane to the ordinance, I can answer the question.
There you go.
And I, if you don't mind,
Go ahead. It's
I'd like-
germane. Go right ahead.
okay.
Then use
Since
that
so germane,
terminology.
it does
Go
connect.
right
So let me just, Lindsay, I sent you an
Use the terminology. Oh, shit. Oh, man.
email a minute ago, and I have the credit card policy. If you can pull it up, because I think we're going to get there anyway. With all due respect, and let me read it to you. What our credit card policy says, because item A is saying here's the policy if you want to spend money on food. It doesn't address how it's paid. Okay, this is just authorizing an expenditure of funds. Item B talks about the credit card. But I think that they are a little intertwined, and just to save time, let me just kind of put it to bed. On page 13, I believe, of the credit card policy, it talks about misuse of the card. And it says, and I'll read it, the credit card policy reflects the city's trust in the employee and his or her empowerment as a responsible employee to safeguard and protect assets. And it talks about cardholder responsibilities, and it tells that a cardholder, whoever's been issued a card, it gives them guidelines of how they use it and how they misuse it as it pertains to food, and connecting it to this. They give some examples of misuse of the P card. And here's an example, and it says for illustrative purposes only. Under personal misuse, it says purchases using the card for the sole benefit of the employee, clothing, and food not authorized by the employee's department. So that's the exact.
I mean, well, he's damn dumb as him, man. This is. Oh man. Oh, this is crazy. I mean, this only in Port Arthur, Texas, man. We have a clown show here. Oh man, this is crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
Correct wording. Now, one of the difficulties we have is that sometimes we have to take in our minds a step further of how does this connect to a public policy decision. And, you know, maybe some things may need better definition, but it talks about the sole benefit of the employee, clothing and food, not authorized by the department. So it doesn't say you can't do it, but it says it has to be authorized by the department. But it can't be for the sole benefit. And so in weighing this decision, you know, when you're looking at, again, when I'm talking about the expenditure and public policy decision about any expenditure, it goes back to the big overall theme on everything. I use my hands, I'm sorry, about public purpose. And if it's a public purpose and you can explain what the public purpose is, then you are at liberty as a legislature, as a legislative body, to make that decision. But if it's for somebody's sole benefit and it's just for me and it has no connection with a public purpose, then obviously that's wrong. It's not a criminal offense, and in a civil lawsuit type situation, a court will go with what the legislature has decided is a public purpose. That authority vests in the council. So on anything, you know, you have sole benefit, that means it has no connection to the city. It's just for me. I can't go out and take the card and say, oh, I'm hungry, and I go to Popeyes. That's for my sole benefit. It has nothing to do with my job. But if any expenditure, be it food, clothing, a table, a chair, a microphone, if you can connect it to a public purpose, then courts will not challenge it. And then the authority to make that decision is a public policy call. You get to decide how you want to spend your money. And I hope that that clears it up a little bit. And the policy is up. You might want to make it bigger. It's page 13, Lindsay. Lindsay's, let's see. It's under misuse. There it is. And that's the only line of anything we have that says that. And, you know, you all get to determine what the sole benefit is. And if a taxpayer or a person doesn't agree with it, they can always challenge it.
Okay. Councilman Frank?
Yes, sir. I operate on a higher standard. And that standard says that if eating meat, and that's not a pun, offends my brother, I won't eat meat.
Man, what in the hell is this clown goddamn saying? Now, we told you this not the church's money, Pastor. Here you go with these old clown ass ad libs, and we shouldn't choke on the net trying to eat the horse by the legs, but the horse is too big. All that old crazy ass crap, man.
And so I'll pull this and not vote for meals. I'll pull it, and we won't order meals. It's not that big a deal for me. If it offends if we're at that point, it's not that great. It's not that great of an
Okay,
issue
let's call for the
me.
vote then. Let's call for the vote.
You do have two citizens.
Go right
so
ahead.
they
State your
are-
name and your address,
They are
please.
allowed to speak.
Boy, this is a dog ass mayor here. This is a dog.
Yes, my name is Yari Cardenas, and I live on 2124 Woodrow Drive here in Port Arthur. And I just think we just passed a budget not so long ago. So why is this being a discussion during a meeting or put on the agenda? Maybe we could have discussed it as part of the budget process and include it there and not make it this far. I think that's where you should be discussing this type of policies, I think, or, because if it's not on the budget, we cannot spend it. But if there's money allowed for the budget and it's there and it's being spent and used, maybe we should question when we're in the process and pay more attention when we are elaborating the budget and what goes on the budget, what's allowed, what's not allowed. so we wouldn't have these issues, and we will discuss more important issues, and it wouldn't be a big issue for nobody if we take care of it, where it needs to be taken care of. And regarding boards, I've served on different boards, and yes, food is provided, but it's because we're not receiving paid for it. It's a volunteer job. And my other concern is, what I heard from the comments is that employees don't get this benefit. So we have employees here that sit here for like 7-8 hours as well, but it only specifically provided for councilmen.
That's not true.
No? Okay, well, I was under the impression that it was just for the councilmen. So I think we need to think twice when we work on our budget and discuss these decisions. And when we're asking the citizens of Port Arthur to foot a higher bill on a water bill, I think, we have to think about cutting costs. And if we ever ask our city manager to cut costs and the employees of the city of Port Arthur and their different departments, do we ever ask them to cut costs when we're preparing the budgets? And if we ask them to cut costs, maybe as councilmen, we also need to make that consideration, where we can also cut costs. And if this is something where we can cut costs, we should do it. And if we expect our employees throughout our city to do that. But looking at the budget, our budget seems to increase. Our expenditures seem to be increasing every year. So we need to start thinking about where we can save money. And when we make decisions about citizens having to pay more for services, and we need to start thinking, I think that's what angers some of our citizens. And to say that we live in a 200 multi-million, surrounded by all this multi-million industry, a 200 million budget, and our streets continue to be in such a horrible problem. We continue to see all these water leaks. We continue to face issues with our water department. If it's not the water department, it's the trash, garbage everywhere. I invite all the councilmen, including the mayor, to please drive around my district, which is District 2. We have a huge problem in District 2 where there's trash, garbage, cars parked on everywhere. We have so many issues, and we need to start focusing on that instead. But we can't keep wasting our time in these issues when it should have been resolved during the budget process.
Okay, thank you.
Gloria Sanchez, 6625 Jade Avenue. I would like to clarify some things. First thing, I think the Councilman Frank can have a meal, but he can bring his own lunch. I think it's going to be better for everybody too. He can do that. He said he has a wonderful cooker. That means he will enjoy more food. And another thing for Councilman Kinlaw, we have the salary for all the consuls. If someone of you decide don't to take it, well, it's a different reasons, I don't know what is especially your reason, but you decide not to take it, it's there. Another thing it is, everybody's talking about, we spend $200 million a year on a city budget, but the problem is we don't have enough money to actually do maintenance in our pipe. They just increase water on citizens because it wasn't enough money to cover that. And that means even though we have $2 million a year, it's not enough money to repair all the things that need to be repaired. And yes, we blame consuls because even though consuls don't do the job, a city manager job, you are on top of the city managers. And it looks to me, a city manager is not doing good job. You are responsible for that. For that reason, we just can't blame council on that one. And it's the way it is. It's no other way. And that's mean, if you ask me, I'm against you spend money in food for lunch. You can bring your lunch, and everybody can. And again, I have been requested a few times before. We need to start thinking and decrease expenses. We need money. We need to have money ready. We cannot continue just asking for loans for do the things that we need to do ourselves.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mayor,
Get up.
Council. I just want to give you.
State your name first and your address. State your name and your address first.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, but state your name and your address first.
Reginald Trainer, 3514 12th Street, activist in the city of beautiful Port Arthur. As I look up here, I just have to pull back because I really came for the wrong reason. But I compliment you for stepping up to the plate because, wow, this was very uncalled for. It really was. You're too intelligent for that. Worried about a meal? Come on, dude, come on. I'm on a lot of auxiliaries. And he mentioned one, the Chief Advisory Board. Chief might not like it. I can't even get water. I bring my own gas. I go to Pleasure Island. I do a whole lot in the city. I don't ask nobody for nothing because I chose to do that. You see what I'm saying? Nobody forced me to do that. When you ran for an office, you told us that, hey, you was representing us. And we look forward to that. So when you talk about a $10 or $15 meal, I care less, to be truthfully honest with you. All I want you to do is get the job done. But if it's a problem, then we need to back up and leave that alone. Because all y'all up there look healthy. I don't see nobody look like they're malnutrition. Everybody. Guys, we're a better city, Mayor. We're a better team when we work together. Thank you.
My name is Reverend Dr. Simeon Queen, 924 South Wind, Port Arthur, Texas. And to see this on the agenda is disheartening. I myself have served as a Texas municipal officer, elected official in the state of Texas for 8 years, appointed 11 years, have sat on state and national boards. This is not an issue in the mechanics of politics. Normally, when you talk about dispersion of funds for food for elected officials, it is a normal component because it is for the wherewithal that you make a healthy vote in the midst of where you are. Apples and oranges say.
Hold on, did he say it's normal because you make a healthy vote? I must not have heard that correct. Let me go ahead and back this crap on up. Did he say you need to make a healthy vote? Hold on. Let me see what he's saying.
Not an issue in the mechanics of politics. Normally, when you talk about dispersion of funds for food for elected officials, it is a normal component because it is for the wherewithal that you make a healthy vote in the midst of where you are.
The wherewithal you make a healthy vote in the midst of where you are. That don't make no goddamn sense, right? Now, this gentleman right here, Mr. Queen, right? If I'm not mistaken, he was appointed by Councilmember Frank, right? And look, he's one of these good old boys that's rolling in with the system. You know, they're on different boards to make themselves look good. I ain't got nothing against the guy personally, but, you know, he's on a lost cause over here with this clown stuff is a normal component. You should have heard the city attorney say that this is going to the, the TML. They went up there to I forgot what the review. She said, well, I can't think of it right now. But they've sent that to the Attorney General. Yeah, the Attorney General's for an opinion. So misappropriation of funds, including eating personal meals, trips, all of this have been brought up to the AG. So, you know, so it's not a normal component, right? You know, is a part of misappropriation. So you have to kind of watch out for that. So, I don't know what he's talking about. He's just trying to cover for Frank, if I believe. Let's go ahead and finish hearing what he's saying, at least.
Apples and oranges says that if you go down the street for a conference, you're going to get per diem, you're going to get a meal automatically, and that may be for an hour. So we're talking about you guys who are serving for 6 to 8 hours, normally in the mechanics of per diem.
You don't go to 6 or 8 hours. And dude, per diem, if you work on any job, you would know that per diem are not paid for people that lives here, right? Per diem is paying if you go into work, take care of business out of town that's not in town at home to eat. When you get a salary here, it's just like regular work per diem.
You would get two meals. So I don't see the problem as a citizen. Some may. But the point is, I think it's disheartening, especially for some who have said that I'm going to give back to the city, whatever the salary is, and to push forward. And in the midst.
Again, the reason why you're giving back the salary is because you believe that it's going to be a conflict with your VA disability benefits, right? That's what you believe. I don't know if you're 100%, 100% PNT, or 100% TDIU, right? But depends on what type of benefit you have, right? You can still get a paycheck. That's from what I've researched, right? So, but a lot of people, a lot of veterans err on the safe side and not get that disability knocked out. Hey, I'm just not going to work at all. You know what I'm saying? So, it is what it is, and that's the real reason. Just state that, if you complain, if you should know something's funny. If you claim that you voluntarily gave up your salary, but you complaining about a goddamn meal. You figure you're going to lose more than that salary if you take. You're going to lose more than your benefits if you take that salary, right? You're going to lose something more than that salary. So that's why you're not taking the salary. Let's just go ahead and let's just be honest about it.
Of doing the city's business, to have arguments over a meal is simply disheartening. And that's my comment.
Okay, thank you for your comments.
It's afternoon now. Good afternoon, Council. I'm Dr. Rosalind Queen, 2294 Bayou Drive, Port Arthur, Texas. I only have one real question about this whole issue when it comes to the meal, and I would like to address it to the individual council member who brought this ordinance proposal. And my question is to Council Member Frank, why? Why should we as citizens pay for your meals when the average salary of a council member in the city of Port Arthur is $36,290. This is the median amount of the salary. Now Google it if you don't believe me. I don't know what they're putting on Google as far as the salary. However, Port Arthur council members, if you're not making that amount of money, you want us to still pay for your food? Even if you were making $1,000 a month, that's still enough money for you to get your own food. Like you said, you have a good cook at home.
Councilman Frank, please. Don't respond. Turn your light off, please, sir.
I did address the question to him. That's why.
Oh boy. This is some of the dumbest crap I ever seen in my life. I can't believe, this is the dumb. I'm going to replay this and run this for damn near a month. Oh, it's too crazy. It's too crazy, man. Only in the city of Port Arthur, Texas, we got a drug addict clown mayor that nobody refuses to do anything about. His violations of the Open Meetings Act, right? Blatant violation. We looking stupid, right? I don't know why any law enforcement is not doing anything about it. There must be a bigger corrupt. He must be part of a bigger corrupt system, because I can't find, for some reason, you cannot put this black dude in jail. I never seen it be this hard to get a corrupt black person in jail, right? If he's being protected legally, he must be doing the bidding of some non-black folk, right? Because we know the justice or injustice system has never been a friend of corrupt black folk, right? And when you have a narcissist like this deranged, drugged out mayor, he brings a spotlight on all you corrupt crooks, right? So I'm start looking at the DA, the police department, the sheriff, any other law enforcement official, the Texas Rangers. Why y'all not pick this clown up and put him in the back of a paddy wagon, right? When he clear has violations. You have you have citizens have called out to the DA, not the DA, right, to the Texas Rangers complaining about various issues of this mayor, right? And a lot of the city council members in general, right? There was an actual conflict of interest going on with one of the previous council members. Council members believe they can do anything with 4 votes. This nonsense has to stop, people.
Rhetorical.
Okay. I just.
Oh, and he just doggone emasculated Frank. Frank should be a goddamn shame, and this clown ass mayor is doing whatever he want. But these are your 3 Kappa clowns, right? 3 Kappa clowns. TKK.
Just want to make sure that my question was addressed, and I think I understand where he's coming from. But I'm in several organizations, several boards, and we pay for our food if we want to eat.
Okay, thank you for your comments.
Good evening, Ms. Jones. I would like to say the money that you charge for food, I would like to see that money go to the employees and the city workers. I think that money could be used much more and used for the benefit of the citizens in a way that we could help them. Your food, we pay you. When we hired you, we had nothing in the contract or saying that we will feed you all. I understand that you all would need food because I'm with the Port Arthur Police Division. We go over a lot of times. We don't even get water because we question some of the customers about it. I think Kinlaw, we questioned them about it. We got nothing in return about it. They said we were individuals. We were on our own. We were volunteers. So I understand you, but due to the fact of the things that the citizens been through with the water and going up on everything, we feel the pain out here. We just can't give anymore. So thank you.
Okay, thank you for your comments. Mayor Pro Tem, your light was on.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate all the comments from the citizens, but prior to that, it was asked to be removed, so it's a mute point. So are we able to vote on that?
You said. Yeah, that wasn't he made a statement for removal.
We need a motion and a second.
Beg your pardon?
I don't mind. Are you okay if I go ahead and make the motion?
I do mind.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. All right. vote, and then we will be done with this. It's either way. Okay? So I'll be in the presiding officer. I'm going to call for the vote. All in favor?
What the flip they voting on, right? They own. Now remember what Bartie was talking about. They own. It'll be on the next topic for discussion. So now, now they want to now they want to vote on something that they not even, an item that they're not even on. So they're supposed to be on the next item. That's what Bartie was arguing with Doucette about. But now they want to vote on the stuff. They don't have no clue what the hell they want to do. This is from the 3 Kappa clowns. Bartie, Frank, Kinlaw. Some goddamn clowns.
Oh, I had a motion to put it on the floor, didn't I? Yeah, so I got a motion. That was a question. Okay, roll call vote then. Okay, and explain if you vote yes, that means that you will have it. You vote no, you won't. Am I correct, attorney? Okay, this is a clarification, okay?
Councilmember Beckham? No. Councilmember Doucette?
No.
Councilmember Frank?
No.
Councilmember Mayor Pro Tem Hamilton?
I'm confused on the vote. I thought this is for removal.
Yes.
Oh boy, nothing but a clown show at the circus. I'm confused too, because we have clowns. Clowns are confusing each other.
Yes, no. We did not get a second for the motion to remove. This is for yes, you would provide meals. No, you won't.
Item.
Yeah.
No.
Councilmember Kinlaw? No. Councilmember Lewis? No. Mayor Bartie?
Okay, yes.
The measure fails.
Okay, let's move to the next item. Next item is PO number.
Oh man. Oh, this got to be the worst council meeting I've ever seen. This is the worst council meeting I have ever seen in my goddamn life, people. But now, let me go ahead and tie it all in, right? The reason why this is going on, because you have incompetent council members, right? When you have incompetent council members, you're going to have an incompetent city manager. When you have an incompetent city manager, you have an incompetent staff, right? Now, since everybody in close proximity is incompetent, the only strength that they have is the buddy system, right? It's a lot of hocus pocus going on over there, right? Circus, hocus pocus. It's a circus magic show with Port Arthur City Council. And the reason why you have that is because that's the only thing they have. So they want to fool you in the act and everything. That's why they want to have unity, right? They want to have unity in burning your tax dollars off of this food, right? They want to have unity in doing the wrong thing. So, and now, if you understand, the system was blamed because they implemented a new system why they can't get the water bill straight, right? Now, understand from what I've heard, right, they had a new phone system. That was glitching out, right? That phone system was glitching and nobody was picking it up. So what's the use of a new phone system if nobody going to answer the son of a gun, right? Now, if you remember before then, you had the EDC director come down here and say, look, we need to pay our own bills at the EDC because the finance department for the city ain't paying the goddamn bills. And this is the reason nothing can get done in the city of Port Arthur, because we have a clown ass council, clown city manager, and a clown staff, right? But now, not only do they just eat the meals, right? They give themselves promotions. The city manager make 250 something thousand. City secretary makes a lot more than what most city attorneys make. I can imagine what the city attorney makes. I mean, the city secretary makes more than what other city secretaries make. And I can imagine what the city attorney makes more than most other cities, right? So that's the areas where you're bleeding at. You actually bleeding on these higher positions, right? These positions that's close to council. And now another hocus pocus trick that they do, they get rid of secretary positions and promote them to assistant to the city manager positions. They may step up like 17 steps in pay. You know what I'm saying? He come into a pay range of what, 37 to be 52. You know, I'm using that as an example, but that's what they do. They give them raises on their own, and for that they want to be quiet, to go along and get along with the gang, right? They put them on boards, just like that gentleman that spoke. He's on the Pleasure Island board talking about that you can have some food or whatnot, nothing wrong with, with spending the taxpayer dollars on food. He's on the board, so they put him on there. So he's going to be a parrot to whatever, the corrupt councilors wants to do. So this is the problem that you have. You need to not only get rid of the damn corrupt council members, you need to get rid of their support system, right? See, they got these 3 Kappa frats, and that's how they run this crap, like a old midlife crisis type of organization, man. You got some old ass people on the council thinking they doggone 20 and 25 years old, and they trying to run the city like they some goddamn clowns. Don't have a clue of what they doing. Look, it's want to cry when you say something, hey, we don't want the taxpayers' dollars to be spending on luxurious food. You get a salary, you get the option to get a salary, take that out of the salary. People, we try to bring it to you, but we need you all to do what these other citizens done. Go up there to council and speak on it, right? I was going to do a whole elaborate thing about the water, but I just broke it down. Remember, with the water, you have incompetent people, right? Blaming the new system, glitches in the new system, that's incompetent staff, because you have incompetent, because the same issue is happening with the finance director, right? If the money ain't straight, we ain't doing the goddamn thing, right? And with the city can't pay contractors to do the work, nothing to get done. So you need a complete overhaul of the city manager, the council, and all of these PACs that they're being involved with, right? That's the main thing. You have PACs that these clowns are involved with, right? So, and they giving these people money. Either they're not going to say anything or they're going to go with the corruption. If they don't go with the corruption, they sitting there barely saying anything. So people, that's why you need a revolution, a political revolution in Port Arthur, right? You need to pretty much take city council and burn it down, basically. You gotta burn this corrupt organization down, right? And put some right people in there, because we are at a time where we need good, intelligent, honest people in there. And you have these 4 people up here, the 3 Kappa clowns in Hamilton, just really don't have a clue, right? The main ones that just don't have a clue. And we as citizens are suffering. You as citizens need to wake up and understand the problem, right? That's why they want to have all these parties. That's why they want to have all these little events, cultural events, uh, class reunions, giving out keys to the city because they cannot make it on competence. They can't make it on doing the job, so they got to bribe you and everybody because they too stupid to do the job, right? And if you lick it up, indulging in some type of bull crap, you don't get to see that they screwing you. You getting poor and poor every day. Nobody has a goddamn um, answer to poverty, the biggest goddamn problem in the city. That's why we are the most miserable the second most miserable in the country, because we have a poverty issue with all these doggone refineries, like Frank say, multi-billion-dollar refineries, but we as citizens, we not getting the benefit of it. Who getting the benefit? The council members, right? They play ball with these cats. That's who getting the benefit, a small benefit at that. Now, if you look on the agenda, all of these refineries donating this to Port Arthur, donating that. Why do you think they donating these $200,000 signs or whatnot, right? Donating, accepting a gift from them and that, because if they pacify these dummies with a goddamn $200,000 job, that cuts out two jobs or 1.5 job or something like that, right? So understand, if they get money from the refiners, you gotta understand you not getting no job for that. Nobody fighting for that because they are asking the refiners to pay for some bull crap on the island or whatever, while you and I as citizens, we can't get jobs over there, right? Because these Negroes have sold us out, right? Sold out the whole city. The black community sold us out. Hispanic community sold us out. Asian community sold us out. White community sold some of them out. They working for some of them, but they done sold a lot of them out too. So people, understand what it is, and it needs to be a hostile environment when dealing with these council members. These citizens did the right thing and went up there and got in their face and told them about going in to eat. So people, understand, everybody got to be in this fight to make this city together, right? And don't let these clowns try to act like unity is the way to go. You know what I mean? Because the only thing that unity is doing, what they want to do, they want to goddamn hide everything from you, right? So you won't know what's going on, so they can still keep screwing you or piss on your leg and telling you it's rain. People, I appreciate doing this episode. Everybody take it easy. Until the next time, share this and give me a like and take it easy. Peace.